just make a couple of comments. First of all, I want to welcome all the contributions both last night and today towards this bill and the support for what we're trying to achieve here. And in fairness, I think Deputy Michael Healy certainly got that across there. This is trying to support businesses through a very, very difficult time. And by supporting businesses, you're supporting their jobs they create, and by supporting those jobs, you're supporting their families. There's a connection here right around that's often missed in debates when it comes to supporting businesses or setting up a pro-business environment, a pro-enterprise environment in this country. It's really, really important that we support businesses where we can, because they are the ones creating the jobs, they are the ones taking the risks, and they are the ones that could, as you say, decide to stay at home if they want and not contribute. And we're lucky to have so many businesses in the country, and many of them are SMEs. A couple of 100,000 SMEs creating over 1 million jobs throughout the country as well. But we're very lucky as a country to have 2.5 million people at work at a very difficult time right across the world, and something that I'll certainly never take for granted, or either does the Taoiseach Minister Oireachtas in our department, and Dara Cleary too, and our whole department. We're constantly trying to see how we can assist and help drive the agenda of being pro-enterprise, pro-business and supporting businesses, and it's important that we do that to help support those jobs. And it's just as important, as Deputy Louise O'Reilly said yesterday, that there are good quality jobs in good conditions and the welfare of workers are looked after. And again, the majority of business owners do their best to look after their staff and want to. There's always going to be a few that we have to try to deal with, but the majority have their members and their workers' hearts, our interests at their heart too, and we need to allow for that too and work at that as well. But again, this initiative is about supporting businesses, supporting jobs, and to be clear about that as well. I recognise the majority here spoke in favour. Many other issues were raised outside the extent of this bill, and I won't go into the whole issue of fishing and farming and so on, because I'm going to focus in my time on this bill and what this is about as well, which is supporting those businesses. I recognise that the majority contributors would say that a lot of businesses don't want to borrow and don't want to be in that position, and we recognise that too. But exactly as Michael Healy said, and I'll say it again, in some situations you have to borrow. And when that happens, and certainly in the times of crisis, to get through it, likewise we had similar discussions here during COVID and Brexit, you have to look at a combination of government assistance through grants and supports, your own reserves and your own cash reserves built up if you're lucky to have them, as well as borrowing if need be to get through a difficult period in running your business. And we're in that situation yet again. This credit guarantee is about making it cheaper to borrow that money and to de-risk it, so that those who are making the decisions will be more sympathetic to the businesses and take a more take more of an approach to try to give the loan, because the state is guaranteeing this, and for up to 80%, which reduces the need for the bank to be overly concerned. Still has to be proper credit rating, no doubt about that, but to give those businesses a chance that are viable but need to get through a difficult time, and that's what we're trying to achieve here as well. So to recognise the majority support this, but also we recognise it's not just about borrowing, but this will reduce the cost of borrowing and make it easier to access. And as a Minister for Retail in this department, I'm glad to be in a position that we're bringing this bill through. It was part of the response in the budget that we said we would bring this forward. It's an initiative that has worked extremely well at earlier occasions during COVID, during Brexit. It came in first as a tool in the box back in 2012, 2013, a little bit late for the financial crisis, but at that time would have been a great support to business as well. But I'm glad it's an initiative we have now on our books that we can adjust and change, like what we're doing here at different times as well. I thought it might be useful to kind of call in the few minutes I have as well, so just to point out that the majority, and again there was an impression given by certain speakers here that small businesses can't avail of this scheme or it's for somebody else. Just to be absolutely clear, 7,566 of the 9,800 loans were made to micro businesses. And I'm sorry the deputy that raised it is not here, a man from Tipperary, because it suits him not to be here for the facts. And while he's entitled to his opinion, he's certainly not entitled to his facts or to his own facts. The facts are the facts. 7,566 loans were to micro enterprises who benefit from this scheme to the tune of just under £1 billion to this scheme on the schemes as well, because it is targeted those small businesses who need that assistance during a difficult time as well. And I would encourage business owners to take the chance now to avail of schemes like this when it's up and running in a few weeks' time, to look at schemes like this and to see, is this an appropriate time to borrow money at low cost over a long number of years to get you through a difficult time. It's a time to financially assess your business, and while you might not want borrowing, it might make sense financially to do it now and avail of these credit guarantees when they're in place, because they won't be there forever, they're not. This one is due to end at the end of 2023 under the current EU framework, and so it's an appropriate time to look at your situation and make an assessment and avail of these schemes if you think it will help your business as well. The scheme is very similar to its predecessor, the COVID-19 Credit Guarantee Scheme, and I've just outlined the success of that as well. The design of the scheme meets the European Commission's temporary crisis framework requirements. It is a good opportunity for business in Ireland to strong levels of state support without any state aid implications. Again, the scheme is opened, hopefully it will be open before Christmas with some of the banks, but again, across the board, there has been an open call for all lenders to avail of it, similar to the previous ones where credit unions and non-traditional lenders got involved in that as well, and that will probably happen into the new year. So it should be widely available as well. And the lending institutes are being encouraged to use this scheme, backed by the state, to be able to make money available, and that's what we're trying to do here. I also, it's important to mention, Microfinance Ireland are also involved in making loans available to small businesses and the start-ups and micro businesses as well, and very successfully. They've increased, through legislation supported in this House, they've increased their ability to be able to loan and reach more businesses as well, and have done that during difficult times like COVID and Brexit, are in position to do so again. And generally to lend to those under 10 and up to a maximum, I think, of 20 or up to 50,000, but the majority will be around the 25,000 mark as well. Again, just to point out, the main feature of this scheme is that it's a scheme for SMEs, primary producers and small mid-caps up to 500 employees. Previously, about only 5 would be mid-caps in that category as well. So it's generally SMEs, and they are the ones that we expect to be the main beneficiaries. Loans must be new loans and will be available to viable but vulnerable businesses which have been impacted by cost increases arising from Russia's aggression in Ukraine. What's the cost increase you have to be able to show to be able to qualify for the scheme? The borrower will have to declare that costs have increased by a minimum of 10% on their 2020 figures, and that the loan has been sought specifically as a result of difficulties being experienced due to the crisis. In reality, this will not be difficult for business to demonstrate because the majority of business are under pressure as well. To finish up on. So again, I look forward to the member support as we move this committee stage very, very soon. I want to thank you and all the members here for facilitating the speedy delivery of this bill through the Houses.
Thank you very much.